known critical piece that what I'm showing now. This is Dryden's essay of dramatic poesy. This is the second piece of Principles of Literary Criticism of Unit 10 of PGTRB English syllabus. See that what class, the title itself, something what class related with what does Aristotle focuses in poetics. I hope you understand the meaning, essay and dramatic poesy. This is the only one critical piece by Dryden. Actually, Dryden is a known familiar poet, dramatist, and then critic. However, Dryden is called as father of modern criticism. Criticism of classical criticism is ended of particular Aristotle, according this your syllabus. But when we touch with the Dryden's essay and dramatic poesy, where you can see this essay and dramatic poesy is the only critical piece. But the way in which how Dryden discussing in the dramatic poesy, make him that he is what class father of a modern critic, modern criticism, modern critic and modern criticism. I think that this is what I know regarding Dryden. And anything you know, and you may share through this what class voice message. If you want to talk about anything regarding Dryden, and you may tell via this what class line. Anything that you want to share regarding Dryden or Dryden's dramatic poesy before I enter into small bio note of a Dryden, and that small bio note is related with essay and dramatic poesy. And we will enter into the text. It's a very small text. And everything that I uploaded in a Google Classroom. When you visit the Google Classroom, you can find what class the original text of a Dryden's essay on dramatic poesy. Can you tell me anything about Dryden or dramatic poesy? Poesy means poetry. The spelling, this is the archaic spelling, old spelling. Poesy. Dramatic also here I have given modern spelling, but what Dryden has given spelling Dramatic. That is spelling given by Dryden. Dramatic. The sound ka at the end of the word dramatic. Poesy, Poesy, that is a spelling given by Dryden. But actually, it's a poetry. But actually, it's a poetry. Is it? And anything you want to share with me? Anything you want to share with me? Anything?
As of Dryden, he is not good in health, sir. He is little bit weak, so he is having a lot of satirical in nature. His satirism is giving more evidence in poesy also. So he is considered the best satirian.
Very nice. Very nice. What class quote that what you are telling? Any other? Do you want to share about Dryden? Say the Madhavan. Anything? Do you want to tell me about Dryden and Dryden's dramatic poesy before we enter? And I will be giving complete detail of bio note of Dryden's dramatic poesy and Dryden's life. As I stated rightly, Dryden, exactly known as dramatist. He wrote a lot of drama. And he is a poet. And beyond that, he is a father of modern criticism, the term given to him. And before we discuss closely Dryden's dramatic poesy, let me share Dryden's bio note. Simply, you see, Dryden born in England. No, definitely you may expect one question out of all what we class writers given in your PGTRB syllabus, English, and definitely you will have one question, the birth of the so and so writer. It may be a Dryden, it may be a Tennyson, it may be a Shelley. I don't know. Definitely you will have one question. Surely one question. You look into the question of past questions. You have to verify past question in the analytical mode, and one question is like this. So that I am insisting whenever I take the new text, what class like this, and I am very particular about where Dryden was born. He was born in England, especially Northamptonshire. That's the name of the place in England. In 1631, 9th August. This is very, very important, Why? Because to some extent, the question may expect.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
He was the first poet laureate in England.
Sure. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. What Kalpana says is very nice. First poet laureate. For a long time, that he was a poet laureate. What we say in Tamil, Arasabai Kavinjar.
Yes, sir.
Of King Charles II, I think that.
Sir. Yes.
King Charles II. Sethu Madhavan, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sethu Madhavan, I have to say one question that what you have raised, the 4 P's, who is the king that I am searching.
Sir.
Is it?
Okay, sir.
See that Dryden published his poem at first, what class in 1649, and he was a scholar in Cambridge University, Trinity College. Please, Kalpana, unmute your mic.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. See that what class his subjects, what the subject that he has studied, classical subjects, rhetoric. In those days, in Cambridge and Oxford, the two great universities, reputed universities, have provided the course like classical literature, rhetoric, mathematics. Once a degree of mathematics is called as BA Mathematics, MA Mathematics. Is it? And this is what I am telling regarding another information of Dryden's first publication. First, he published poems. I told you he's a poet. I'll tell you a list of poems. But here we are looking into criticism. Based on criticism, I have given you introductory. Now, after Dryden, what we class got a degree, and Dryden, what we class working with Oliver Cromwell. I hope you know who is Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell is a statesman.
Commonwealth.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Commonwealth. He is the reason for that. Actually, Oliver Cromwell and his son.
Yeah.
They dethroned and killed the first Charles first.
Very nice. Very nice. The monarchy. The monarchical
1649 to
monarchical
yes, sir.
That is thrown out by Oliver Cromwell. And where he was, what class? Oliver Cromwell's working with Oliver Cromwell. Why? Because that they have been marking a radical shift in poets' political views. It is because of what class? They have been working in the Parliament of English government. And along with him, what class? There are few writers: John Milton, Andrew Marvell, Dryden. Dryden we are speaking. But Milton is also who is along with Oliver Cromwell. And his poem published in the manner of heroic stanzas. Heroic stanzas. I remember you, there is a 2-line poem, 3-line poem, 4-line poem, 5-line poem, 6-line poem, 7-line poem, 8-line poem, 9-line poem. Beyond 9 line, there will be no stanza. If it is beyond 9 line stanza, it is a free verse. It's a free verse. Now I'll come later what class when I discuss with you what class this in unit 8. These things that you see I will closely discuss with you in unit 8. Here what I am telling, heroic stanza, that is a two couplet. Two couplet is heroic stanza. It's like a quatrain. It's like a quatrain where he was familiar. Dryden was familiar, but Dryden is expertised in using heroic couplet. Like Valluvar's 2-line poem, a 2-line Thirukkural. No, and already Sethu Madhavan pointed rightly, that Dryden is celebrated in the regime of King Charles II. Now, during the time that Dryden is very happy and keeping what is that alliance with Cromwell government. Though Samuel Johnson excused Dryden for this and keeping what alliance with whom Cromwell government, even though he wrote what the works, the work that is Lives of Poets. Dryden wrote Lives of Poets. The same Samuel Johnson also. Of course, 1779. Is it? This is what the another information, and as Kalpana rightly pointed out, the Dryden become first official. The word is important. The first official poet laureate of England, conferred by letters, patent from the king. Of course, he got letters from whom? The king, where he is official poet laureate. Dryden, when he was alone, he was dismissed by William III and Mary II in 1688 after he refused to swear an oath of alliance, remaining loyal to the James II. Already I told you Charles II. This is what a simple what we class about whom Dryden. And one more thing that I left to tell you. Dryden was proposed for membership of Royal Society. Royal Society is a society run by what we class this monarchy once, but where he was a member, and he was elected as a Hurley Fellow, where he got married Lady Elizabeth. Lady Elizabeth is a sister of a royal sister of Sir Robert Howard. Sir Robert Howard is the brother-in-law of Dryden. This may be what because one question you expect in your TRB examination. Who is the brother-in-law of Dryden? Lady Elizabeth is a sister of Robert Howard, where Dryden who got married his sister. And even his brother-in-law, both of them had different opinions. Sorry. And first playwright, he's the first playwright where he published The Wild Gallant in 1663, the first play. Even though that he is not financially sound during when the play was performed, when the play was commissioned to produce in the King's Company. Now once you have King's Company, that's the greatest company during the Elizabethan time, a theatre company. King's Company. He was asked, Dryden was asked to produce 3 plays. But even though Dryden was financially unsuccessful, and the best dramatic work that Dryden wrote is in French. Definitely you may have question French. This is a Marriage Law Mode, 1672. The best dramatic work of Dryden. And another drama, All for Love. All for Love is a model of Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. You have question, you expect the question. All for Love is a model of Shakespearean Antony and Cleopatra. The characters are similar that what Dryden and Shakespeare has shown, which means it's a model. All for Love is a model drama of modeled on Shakespeare. And where blank verse is a rhyme scheme, blank verse. No rhyme, no rhythm, no meter. That's a blank verse. This has been effectively employed by Dryden. You see that Shakespeare and Milton are expertised in using blank verse. And where Dryden who used this term effectively in his drama. Actually, Dryden is known as a great dramatist. Here I have shown you the darkened what we class piece. Dramatic spelling I told you, dramatic. Poesie, exactly. We say Poesie. Or you remove what we class I, you put it Y. Poesie. But actually, what is the spelling given by Dryden? This is Dramatic. Poesie, Poesie. This is spelling given by Dryden. And it is published in 1668. Definitely you may have one question. No, you expect you have that 150 pieces roughly I am telling in your from unit 1 to unit 10, where you will have one question like this. What is the question? The publication date. The publication, Dramatic Poesy, published in 1668. I told you Aristotle's Poetics published in roughly, I told you that what I call it a before common era. Don't say before BC, before what we call as a before Christ and Anni Domini. Don't say like this. The new term is this what I call it before common era.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
During the time of plague, sir, he published, I think.
What is it? What is
during the time of
bubonic plague.
Bubonic plague.
bubonic plague?
He published a essay on dramatic poesy.
Okay, nice, very nice.
As
Sir,
like
this
today, as
tell
like
me,
now we
madam.
are having some pandemic, like that at the time there is one plague emerged. So he just published this poesy on related to that.
Yes, madam.
Nice. Nice. That is given here. In this type of notes.
Okay.
Okay, nice. And then as Sivaranjani madam rightly pointed, he is a satirist. In the very beginning, she told MacFlecknoe, one of the best poem, satirical poem by Dryden, and Dryden satirizes Thomas Sadwell, a contemporary poet. Thomas Sadwell, a contemporary poet of Dryden. It's very familiar. MacFlecknoe is very familiar because it is prescribed for most of the PG courses. PG courses of an MA. And beyond that, the poems that is here, I told you, his genre is what we call as a satire. His genre is satire. And look at the poem titled as what we call as the Medal, Astapel and Absalom and Astapel. These two very great what we call as examples of satire. And come to what we call as that he is credited to what we call as the standard of heroic couplet. In whatever what we call as work that he has written, and all these works what we call as shows the standard of heroic couplet in English poetry. The standard of a heroic couplet. Definitely you expect the question. Dryden is credited. Dryden is credited, including satire, religious piece, fables, epigrams, prologues, and plays. The epigram is simply what we call as a saying. Simply saying, epigram. It's a figure of speech. Epigram is a figure of speech. Dryden died during 1700, May 1. And he buried what we call in the burial yard of St. Anne Cemetery. This is what a simple bio note regarding this dramatic poetry. But however, I have not given you detailed dramas written by whom? Dryden. Detailed dramas. Here, what I'm going to tell you again, we introduce now, exactly the essay. An essay and dramatic poetry, an introduction. Actually, what Aristotle says, poetry is an imitation. Aristotle says. Here, according essay and dramatic poetry by Dryden, he has made what we call a brief discussion on neoclassical theory of literature. The first thing, suppose you will have a question like this, what does essay and dramatic poetry focuses? You will have a question in your TRB examination. Or you have, what does dramatic poetry presents according Dryden? You will have a question like this. Very simple answer. A brief discussion on neoclassical theory of literature. Neoclassical theory of course, Dryden, Dr. Johnson, is it Ben Jonson? Ben Jonson, all are belonging to Age of Reason. This is what I'm telling, Age of Reason. This is what we call as a neoclassical literature. In BA English, you find the most of the syllabus, the paper is titled as neoclassical literature. Neoclassical prose piece. But actually, what Dryden depends, the classical drama. You know that how Aristotle talks about classical drama, especially tragedy, Greek tragedy. What he says, it is an imitation of a life. That imitation of life that reflects human nature. This is the way that Dryden also depends. This is another answer also. What does we call Dryden depends in dramatic poetry? You will have a question like this. Dryden, what we call depends the classical drama, as rightly suggested by Aristotle, that it is an imitation of a life and reflects human nature. This is clearly stated by Dryden. And this is another answer of the question. Of course, this essay, this critical piece is written in the form of a dialogue. Why? This I found one question in TRB, earlier TRB question. The form of a dialogue. This essay written by Dryden in the form of a dialogue. Among the four gentlemen, great gentlemen, because four gentlemen who sit together and they discuss, they have a brief discussion on dramatic poetry. They have a brief discussion on a dramatic poetry. These four gentlemen, and one among is Neander. No doubt, Neander is Dryden. Neander is a Dryden. You love question. You expect questions like this. Neander is a Dryden. I hope you understand. Who are the four gentlemen? Eugenius, Citrus, Lycidas, Neander. I'll tell you. Just now I told you Neander is none other than Dryden, John Dryden. I'll tell you one by one all these people, one by one. First, I told you who is Neander. Neander is Dryden. And what they had a dialogue regarding what we call depending the classical drama. But actually, this dialogue, what they had, these four gentlemen had, and dialogue had no end, which means no conclusion that they have drawn. Dryden speaks something, Lycidas speaks something, Citrus speaks something, Eugenius speaks something. Something I will tell you later. Is it? And these things, Eugenius had his own idea, Citrus has his own idea, Lycidas has his own idea, Neander has his own idea. And whether no one is accepting each other, but they are arguing. It is that what I call it a form of a dialogue. Here I'll first tell you about Eugenius. Eugenius, what we class, who is a spokesman of a drama, modern drama. Of course, definitely you will have a question like this. Who is Eugenius? Eugenius is a spokesman. Eugenius is depending on modern drama, English modern drama. Eugenius is attacking the classical playwrights. He attacks classical playwrights who did not themselves always observe the unity of place. Of course, classical playwrights does not observe unity of place. That is an argument made by Eugenius in a dialogue. Simply, I call Eugenius is a what we class a spokesman of modern English dramatist. And next we come Citrus. Citrus is depending on ancient playwright. I hope you understand. Citrus is definitely, you will have question. Citrus is a spokesman of a ancient dramatist, classical dramatist. Am I correct? And Citrus points out exactly regarding what we class the merits of Aristotle and Horace, the great classical writers, what they have given the principles of dramatic art that is praised by Citrus. And also he points out what we class what has been missed by the demerits of a modern English dramatist. I will tell you the argument later on. The next what we class Citrus who opposes the next point. The first point I told you. Next point, Citrus opposes a rhyme. No rhyme. The blank verse is a rhyme. Blank verse is a rhyme. Citrus opposes a rhyme in plays, and he argues that though moderns excel in science, the ancients' age was true age of poetry. He says, because ancients poetry, ancient writers, classical writers, or what we class a true age of writers, true age of poetry. Even though the moderns who excel in sciences. This is what the argument, two major argument that Citrus has brought up. And the third one, Lycidas. Lycidas, who is a spokesman of, Lycidas is a spokesman of a French playwright. No, he talks about the merits of a French play, French drama, and attacking English drama. Why? English people are mixing tragedy and comedy into one. Tragic comedy, we say, but he is against it. Lycidas is against regarding why the English people are mixing tragic elements and comic elements into the drama. It's a new genre that is brought by Shakespeare, I think. That is not recommended by Aristotle. But when you read a French play, any play of French drama, French dramatist, that play is having what we class not mixing this tragic and comic. But however, Dryden, what we class says the best example of mixing comedy and tragedy of Ben Jonson's Silent Woman. That's the example Dryden mentions. Am I clear? Am I clear? Any question? Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
Any
sir.
que-
Clear, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Shall we move next? Yes, Sethu Madhavan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes. சொல்லுங்க.
I think Dryden has given the imaginary names for these four people, sir.
Yeah, sure. Imagine it. Dryden himself imagines the name, but however, I will tell you the real name of those people, those four people. I will tell you. First, I
Okay,
will tell you, Neander is a Dryden. The remaining three people I will tell you later on.
Okay,
During
sir.
the
Okay, sir.
lecture, I will tell you. Of course, it seems to be imaginary that Dryden says these four people.
I think during that time, Neander means new man.
What you are telling is I don't know, but Neander Dryden assumes as a Neander.
Okay, okay.
Assumes as a Neander. This is imagination.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Is it? I think that you see. What is your question? May I know the question?
During the plague time, Neander means new man.
Probably ஒரு அர்த்தம் இருக்குங்களா தெரியல.
Yes, Neander means new man, and Eugene means well born.
Oh, well born. Eugenius.
Well born is a name of Eugene, and new man is name of Neander.
Okay.
Sir.
Lycidas, Citrus.
Okay, sir.
Actually, these four people that has what we class imagined by Dryden. And one among is Dryden, that he is none other than Neander. That's what I think so. That, however, I will check you that original text. I will check you.
Sir, okay,
That,
sir.
of course, what you tell is, say the Madhavan.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Say
sir.
the Madhavan. Say the Madhavan.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you want to speak anything?
No, sir. No, sir. This is right, sir.
Now, no, I'll move to the next one. See that what we say. A Neander who speaks for moderns, but he respects ancients. We say in Tamil that Neander is in Tamil. Kaduvura meanla naduvura mean solluvom. Neander. He speaks of moderns, but he respects ancients. I don't know the meaning, whether you understood or not, but I know clearly the meaning. Which means that he has been what we class applying the rigid rules of drama. And also he favors. Citrus is against of rhymes, but he favors of rhyme. Neander is favors of rhyme. Then you see Dryden and Neander, who is a spokesman of Dryden. And he argues, you see that what we class what is the name of that writer I told you, who has been telling about what we class against of English drama, mixing up comedy and tragedy, Lycidas. But here he argues one example. Tragic comedy, the new what we class a genre. A new genre, that's a tragic comedy that has been what we class called as like, when you give hyphen, that is a different meaning, but you cannot give hyphen. Like post-colonialism, the phrase post-colonialism, you cannot give hyphen. Tragic comedy is also like this. This is the best form of a play he suggested, Neander suggested. Why? Because he favors rhymes. It depends on rhymes. He favors on rhymes, I think that rhymes. He favors on rhymes. Is it? This is what I'm telling. Is it? Now you see the thing. Why? Why he suggested the best form of what we class a drama is a tragic comedy. Dryden says. Why? Because life is very closer to sad emotion and happy emotion. Life is very closer. இது மாதிரி தான் கேட்பாங்க டெக்னிக்கலா क्वेश्चन. Why Dryden says tragic comedy is the best form of a play? It is closer to the life. Why it is closer to the life? Life is made up of happiness and sadness. Am I correct, Suranjani madam?
Yes, sir.
The best example is Silent Woman by Ben Jonson. That what form here Dryden, Neander suggested. Am I correct? See, you come that see Dryden, what we class Neander. Neander gives what we class his idea of three unities, the violation of three unities. Now, few writers who have been violating the recommendation of an Aristotle using three classical unities in a drama. But he talks about these things. but it leads to variety of English plays when you violate. This is done by Shakespeare. Shakespeare violated using three classical unities recommended by Aristotle. So that you need the variety of plays, English plays like comedy, romance, romantic comedy, tragic comedy, Roman plays, history plays, the variety of English plays. Why? Because when you violate the classical unities, that's what Neander says. Maybe you have one more question. No, I hope am I correct? Nobody speaks in rhyme. Of course, Neander himself speaks rhyme. But Citrus is against of using rhymes. Citrus argues with Neander. Is it? And also Neander supports use of blank verse in drama. Blank verse. In the place of what because using rhyme. He says the use of rhyme is a serious place. Is justifiable in the place of blank verse. But he suggests depending favor of what because rhymes and blank verse. This is what the introductory
Excuse me, sir.
title is.
Who introduced blank verse in first time, sir?
A very nice question. Very nice question. Can anyone know who is introduced to blank verse?
Dryden used for he was a father of a heroic couple, John Dryden, I think.
Father of?
Father of English criticism and a heroic couple.
Don't say father of English criticism. The term is broad term. Very
okay, the term.
He is a father of modern criticism.
Okay, father of okay, sir.
As modern criticism, actually, blank verse is expertised by Milton. When you read Paradise Lost, you can understand how Milton is expertised in using blank verse. No rhyme, no rhythm, no meter.
Okay,
and even to take it Shakespeare also. All plays of Shakespeare. So that he suggested, Neander suggested, what he suggested, the violation of the three classical unities. So that he supports blank verse. He is also using blank verse in where? In his poetry. Is it? Of course.
Okay, sir.
Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, introduced a sonnet into English. I think that Henry Howard and Earl of Surrey introduced a sonnet form into an English England. I think so. You check it.
Wyatt and Surrey are the person who is introduced sonnets.
Of course, Earl of Surrey. Just I told you, Earl of Surrey. Wyatt, Sir Thomas Wyatt and Earl of Surrey. Henry Howard. Is it? I'll check it again. That sir, German sir was given an answer that he is the father of a blank verse. But I think that I'll check it. I will tell you. I will tell you. I don't read what class so far that the father of English blank verse. But the people of Milton and Shakespeare, they expertised blank verse. They employed blank verse rhyme scheme effectively in dramas of Shakespeare and in epic Paradise Lost. I'll come. What class? What he has sent a message. I'll come and I will check it and I will post what class the answer. Who is maybe. But what is the answer that he has sent through chatting? That I known well that he is what we class introducer of the sonnet into England from the what we class Italian sonnet to English sonnet. Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually I support the answer, sir. Surrey for blank verse, sir. Sonnet for actually Wyatt for sonnet, sir. I guess, sir.
Oh, Sir Thomas Wyatt is sonnet.
Sonnet. Surrey blank verse, sir. Father of
again, the German sir has sent a message. The first known use of blank verse, not a father.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay,
Right?
sir.
The
Okay, sir.
sentence he has given,
First,
the
first.
first
Okay,
known
sir.
use of blank verse, maybe
Okay, sir.
the English language by Henry Howard. Okay. This is correct. But he is not a father. Try to understand the question.
Okay, sir. Understand, sir.
Now he has sent a message, and he typed it, and then he sent very nice, very nice information that what he has sent through chatting. Yes. However, I will tell you, but I don't, what we class known. I do not know that to see who is the father of English blank verse. Of course, I never listened. However, I will, what we class verify. But lastly, that German sir has sent a message that is correct. The use of blank verse. The same thing I am telling, the use of blank verse by Milton and Shakespeare and even Dryden. And even Dryden. You see, synopsis, I will tell you synopsis. What is about dramatic poesy? So far I told you the introductory part. Now I am going to talk about synopsis and arguments. What is synopsis? The comparative worth of ancient writers, especially dramatists, and modern writers, especially dramatists. Who is the worth? Citrus says ancients, Eugenius says moderns. This is a comparative, which means those two people talking about the merits and the demerits of ancients and moderns. That's the first synopsis. An argument. Synopsis, otherwise we call as arguments, because here it is a form of a dialogue, they say. The second, the relative merits of contemporary French school of drama, English school of drama. Another thing, the comparative worth of the relative merits and the demerits of what we call as a French school of drama and English school of drama. You see that Lycidas and Dryden, who spoke like this. And you come to Dryden. What Dryden speaks? Dryden speaks whether Elizabethan dramatist is superior than the contemporary dramatist of Dryden. That's the argument of the Dryden. I told you in the very beginning, the four people sit together and talk closely. Talk closely. These are the 5 themes. Already I have given the next, what are these 5 themes? Main themes. That's what I am talking now. Next, see that conformity of dramatic rules laid by ancients. Now you see that Eugenius says ancients have left the unity of a place. He said, but Citrus says the people who belongs to ancients in classical literature, they expertise using dramatic rules, the classical rules. That's another argument. And just now, we had a question. The comparative merits of using blank verse rhyme in a serious place. Serious place here, that Ben Jonson said, what's the play? Silent Woman. So this is the 5 arguments. 5 synopsis, 5 theme. The same relative questions I have made it. This is my question, my what we class of preparation, What are all the distinct merits of ancient and modern? Can the French school of drama be called as superior to that of English? Whether Elizabethan dramatists are superior or the contemporary dramatists of Dryden are superior. Whether ancients are laid the rules of classical unities or moderns. The comparative merits of rhyming verse and blank verse. Blank verse. Of course, as Kalpana pointed, heroic couplet. Is it? Now, this I told you, Kalpana, now you have made one question, that question now I am giving an answer.
Okay,
Citrus is a brother-in-law of Dryden. Citrus is what we call Sir Robert Howard. The imaginary character is Citrus. But Citrus is none other than Sir Robert Howard. He is a brother-in-law. Sir Robert Howard's sister is getting married with the Dryden. What you
Oh,
told
yes.
that I don't know. Yes, Kalpana.
Yes, okay, okay, sir.
What you told that I forgot. What you told? Imaginary
Uh,
that you are told, you know.
yeah. The Dryden has given imaginary names, sir. I want that imaginary names.
So you say Neander,
Charles Sackville.
new man. That's something you told.
Yeah, Newman.
But I don't know the meaning. But I'll check it. I'll check it later. But actually, what does it mean? Citrus is an imaginary character. He is none other than Sir Robert Howard, a brother-in-law of Dryden. Eugenius, who is Eugenius? Eugenius is a patron. No, Eugenius is a Charles Sackville Lord Buckhurst. His name. His original name is a Charles Chalkwell. Definitely you will have a question like this. Charles Chalkwell and Lord Buckhurst. And he is a spokesman of whom? Moderns. And he is what we class a patron. Patron to whom? Dryden. He supports financially to whom? Dryden. Because he is a lord. He is a lord. He supports financially to whom? Eugenius. Eugenius is an imaginary character brought by Dryden, no doubt. But Eugenius is none other than Charles Sackville Lord Buckhurst. He is what we call as a patron, and this essay is dedicated to him. This may be a question you expected. This essay. No, this material, what I am showing, it is taken from the original book, the original material. Next, you see that Lycidas. Lycidas is none other than Sir Charles Sedley. Lycidas is a Charles Sedley. And he depends French School of Drama. French School of Drama is a superior than English School of Drama. This is this thing form of the essay. And Neander, you come Neander. Neander is a Dryden. Neander, what class talks about the superiority of English School of Dramatist over the French School of Dramatist, and also he what class talks of moderns and he respects ancients. You go and check. This is what
So can you,
poor people. Yes.
sir, can you please explain for Lycidas?
So Lycidas is none other than Charles Sedley. The assumed name is Lycidas, but actual name is Charles Sedley. The assumed name is Eugenius, and original name is Charles Sackville Lord Buckhurst. Assumed name is Citrus, and his original name is Sir Robert Howard. And assumed name is Neander. The original name is Dryden. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam. Okay. And here that I told you, no, the dialogue, this dialogue. What's a dialogue? The dialogue between the four gentlemen. The dialogue has what we class no end. They talk freely. No one has given truth. No one, even Eugenius does not give truth. Lycidas does not give truth. Neander does not give truth. This is an essay. This is an essay I'm telling. But one thing that they will have, what we call say, you are the reader. You take it your own decision, your own conclusion. This is what a Dryden expects. Yes, Sedu Madhavan, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Sedu Madhavan, am I correct?
Yes, sir. It's right, sir.
Yamamani madam.
Yes, sir.
Any clarification?
No, it's clear, sir.
Clear. Any clarification?
No, sir, it's clear, sir. You can
Priyanka? Priyanka, any clarification?
No, sir, I'm clear in that.
Okay, nice. Priyanka, have you read it in your MA study?
Sir?
This piece of critical text by Dryden, have you read it in MA?
No, sir, I can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now shall we move?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Now we will state that who is superior, the first part. The first part, who is superior, either ancient and moderns. I hope you remember. Now, Citrus, who is favor of ancients. And Citrus is talking about the merits, the comparative merits of ancients. I'll tell you one by one. No, I have given you original sentence, the original argument that what here you see that darkened what we call sentences are original. It is not my line. It is not my line. It is not my language. This is the original language taken from the original text. And just I am explaining. Is it who is superior? Either ancients or moderns. But Citrus begins his argument. How he begins an argument? Moderns have not only imitated the ancients, but also built up their foundations. Which means what he says, what Citrus says, moderns are not faithful imitators. Ancients are faithful imitators. Ancients, classical writers have been faithful imitators. Ancient writers, classical writers are brilliantly observing the nature. And they use perfectly the three classical unities. In ancient plays, you don't find subplots. That is the argument made by Citrus. Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay. These 3 points, that Citrus is supporting on favor of ancients. And actually, what Citrus claims here, the claim during his conversation, during his dialogue, what he claims, Citrus claims, Citrus is none other than Sir Robert Howard, a brother-in-law of Dryden. He claims ancients are superior over moderns. I am very particular about the proposition over. The same I spoke you in Aristotle Poetics. Greek tragedy is superior over epic. The same way here I am telling, Citrus is very clear in his argument. How is very clear? He says ancients are superior over the modern. Ancients, moderns are also observing three classical unities. Moderns are also imitators, but they are not faithful. This is an argument made by Citrus. I hope you understand. Focusing on particularly three unities, Citrus says ancient followed unity of time, especially in tragedies. He says, Citrus says, but the another dramatist, who speaks of what we call as moderns, Eugenius says, ancient people does not use unity of time, he said. But actually, what Citrus says, depending on their three classical unities in tragedies, ancient people used effectively unity of time. This may be a question. This may be a question, I think that, am I correct? Am I correct? This may be a question.
Sir, it is made that ancient people are using time, but in modern they are not sure about the time. It's the thing they inform, sir.
Ma'am, again, may
Uh,
receive.
Here I will be asking that whether in ancient time they use the proper timing there in the tragedy, but in modern time there is no proper use of time. Time is not particularly mentioned there in that. They are not observing the time in their this tragedy. Is it argued here?
Very nice understanding, madam. I'll tell you the time exactly. I'll tell you, but this is one question I found in one NET examination. What you have asked just now, that I found one of the question paper in NET examination. The time limit of tragedy, Greek tragedy, the time limit of modern drama. As rightly you pointed out. That I will tell you. After this text, I have given the same question. It's a type of a question. Really, I am very happy about your clear understanding. Yes? Yes? Am I correct?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'll tell you the time. I'll tell you the time, the unit of time. I will tell you exactly in Greek tragedies. Is it? But of course, he says. Who says? Citrus says. No, and also Citrus says French or the next to the ancients. He says. Definitely you will have question. Who says French or next to more ancients? கேட்டுருவோம் மேடம் கொஸ்டின் 4 பேரையும் கொடுத்துருவோம். சைட்ரஸ், யூஜினஸ், லிசிடஸ். The option is given like this. கொஸ்டின் இப்படி தான் வரும் உங்களுக்கு. இது ஒரிஜினல் லைன் இது. நீங்க யூ see the darkened line. அதில் கொடுத்துருக்கான் பாருங்க, என்ன கொடுத்துருக்கான் பாருங்க. If the act begins in a garden or a street or a chamber, it ended in the same place. அதான் French or the next to the ancients அப்படின்னு சொல்றான். When you begin an act, the modern placeல அப்படி act begin ஆகாது. You see American drama, you see modern English drama after 1950s. The drama does not begin like this. It begin in garden, it begin in street, it begin in chamber. Chamber is small room. At the end of the drama, it is ended. Filmல அப்படி ஒரு காட்சி காட்டுவான். ஃபிலிம்ல எங்க ஃபில்ம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சீன் காட்டுவோன்னா அதே சீன்ல தான் லாஸ்ட்ல முடியும். So this is the technique. It's a technique. Am I correct? Am I correct? Sethu Madhavan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see the next. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Eugenus argues that Citrus has failed to mention. See that argument, this original line that I taken from the original book. Eugenus argues that Citrus had failed to mention the points of excellence of moderns. Moderns are excellence. Moderns are excellent. And that is what class not mentioned by Citrus. Another the word on Citrus says ancients are superior over moderns. But here what Eugenus says, Citrus failed to point out the excellency. என்ன காரணம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா in ancients what we class there is no proper emotional and moral effect. You take the example of Oedipus Rex. There is no proper proper emotional and moral effect in the place of ancients. They fail in instruction. They fail in instructing moral effect. Who failed? Ancients. That is what rightly pointed by Eugenus. Have you understood? Yes. Sethu Madhavan.
Yes, sir.
Sethu Madhavan, are you online?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir. I understood, sir.
Okay. Okay, nice. The next thing that you say on the whole, I told you already, Dryden takes safe position. He is not arguing, against ancients, but he pays respect to the ancients. But he is depending for moderns. This is the safe position he took. Why? Because Citrus is a brother-in-law of Dryden. That's the reason. Am I correct? அதனால தான் அவன் சொன்னேன் ட்ரைடன் சொன்னேன் கழுவுற மீன்ல நழுவுற மீன் சொன்னேன். He is what we class arguing favor of modern dramatist, but he is paying respect to the ancient dramatist. Why? Because Citrus is his brother-in-law. He supports ancients, so he wants to respect it. But he knows that moderns are superior. He knows. Right? But what Eugenus says, already I told you that Eugenus is a patron. Sorry, Eugenus is a patron. I told you. Patron means financially he supported to whom? Dryden. It's a patron. Definitely, you will have a question who is a patron of Neander. Who is a patron of Neander? Eugenus is the Neander. Eugenus is the patron. Eugenius Yarana, Lord Buckhurst. The representation of a Eugenius is Lord Buckhurst. You know, actually, what because he also what because points out the deficiency of the ancients, of course. Eugenius is pointing deficiency of the ancients and the merits of the modern. You know, he blames just now what because who told Sivaranjani madam told, you know, he blames the ancients for not establishing a fixed number of acts in a play. Fixed number of acts and fixed time limit. As they wrote the entrances of the character, each character or chorus, not by acts. In ancient plays, you see the chorus. Even you take it the example of Christopher Marlowe, Dr. Faustus, and other dramas of Christopher Marlowe. It is like this. The entrance of each character, that is chorus. It is not acted. The entrance of each character is formed as Christopher Marlowe is termed as a chorus. But as far the three unities is concerned, the unity of plays was never followed or invented by them, neither Aristotle nor Horace. They never invented, he said, Eugenius says. But Citre says, this can be what we class effectively used by ancients. But he says, they never invented this, according whom Aristotle and Horace. The ancients showed no poetic justice, but moderns shows poetic justice. In their place, as the heroes were unhappy in piety and thrived in weakness, heroes are unhappy. The ancient dramas, all heroes, you take it, Oedipus Rex is an unhappy. Maybe in childhood he may be happy, but as a heroic character, central character in Sophocles Oedipus Rex, you know, that he is what I call it, unhappy. This is what Eugenius argues. Eugenius argues. And look at that next thing. You know, they focused so much on harsh emotions. Of course, all ancient dramatists are focusing harsh emotions like lust, anger, cruelty, revenge, ambition. These are the harsh emotions, different emotions. That they were more capable for raising horror. Of course, raising horror. You see, Oedipus Rex, how he raised horror. That's what the compassion in audience. This is, they failed, you know, who failed? But you cannot find these things, what because this horror emotion, the harsh emotion in modern drama. This is an argument made by Eugenius. This is an argument made by Eugenius. The next French drama versus English drama. Is it? Shall I stop here? Shall I stop? Any question? I welcome your questions. I welcome. Any question? As German sir, no, sent the message. I will check it. I hope that there will be no father of a blank verse. Maybe, as you said, secondly, you know, he used what we class effectively, the blank verse rhyme scheme. You whether check it, the book M.H. Abraham's a glossary of literary terms. I will check it and I will post you answer whether who is the father and whether the question is right. I will check it.
Excuse me, sir. You told that all the characters are original and he is depicted those characters with the name of some other, like that you told, no? So it is really happened in his era and he is converted that with some other name and he is wrote it as a criticism paper, sir.
Very nice question, madam. Very nice question. Actually, this is answer I told already. It's as Kalpana has rightly pointed out, this is what we class assumed dialogue. Assumed dialogue. And he himself, Dryden himself, assumed the four peoples. But he knows well the four peoples who are they. is real. It's real. But in this essay, according to this essay, he wants to talk about the merits, comparative merits and demerits, who is superior and why he is superior, for which that he wants to make an argument. So that he imagined to bring these four great personalities in terms of imaginary names. Yes, am I correct?
Yes, sir. But he never condemned or he never criticized. He just given some assurance that the both modern and the ancient are very good. Yes.
Yes, yes, they never condemned. Aristotle also never condemned. Aristotle never condemned epic. Aristotle never condemned comedy. He skipped comedy. Even though he says something, but he skipped what we can say, what you told just now, not condemning, just escaping, not to point out exactly about comedy. However, he referred in Aristotle Poetics, Aristotle referred Homer's one comedy. Comedy is also type of a poetry. That is also a life, imitation of life, imitation of a human action. Comparatively, I am telling here that just now you raised a question. This is everything, is based on the mind that how it is acted by Dryden. No, they are telling about the careful words. They are never against of, strongly against of moderns, strongly against of ancients. They talk about in form of a dialogue and no conclusion. No conclusion. You take your own conclusion, madam. You take your own conclusion.
Oh, it is open dais. We may think whatever is possible. We have to identify according to our judgment.
This is what Dryden says in dramatic way. So that Dryden is a father of a modern criticism. Not we say criticism. Dryden is a father of modern criticism. So why? Because I'm telling there are so many what we class who belongs to father of a new criticism, belongs to father of what archetypal criticism, historical criticism. So many things we have. Modern classical criticism, modern criticism, new criticism. Yes, Kalpana.
Sir,
Yes.
who said Dryden is a father of modern criticism?
Who said Ben Johnson? Huh?
Dr. Johnson.
Oh, Dr. Samuel Johnson. Huh?
Samuel Johnson said.
That's what you are telling.
Yes.
Quotation, of course.
Okay.
Quotation, what you have been telling now. Of course, maybe Dr. Samuel Johnson who praised writing.
Hello,
doubt.
sir. Your voice is not audible.
What you said is correct.
Yes. Dr. Johnson said he is the father of modern criticism.
Modern criticism, of course.
Yes, sir.
Of course. Maybe you expect the question what Kalpana is rightly pointed. You keep in remember those points. Any question? This class is for making an interactive. This class is for making collaborative. The class is not what we class one man. Priyanka? Priyanka, any question?
No questions, sir.
No question. Sobana? Sobana, any question? Shall we stop here? The remaining three that we will discuss tomorrow. The remaining three. Why? Because if go beyond 1 hour in online, something boring. Something boring.
Okay, sir. We will continue next class, sir.
Okay, sure. Sure. Yes, madam. Yes. Sivaranjani, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. This class is very interactive. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Very nice. Okay, madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Madam, any question? Hello, Sobana.
Nothing, sir. I'm clear, sir.
Who said that? Shobana, either.
Hello.
Please ensure your mic. Ensure your mic. Yes, anyone? Yes, you can leave. You can leave the class. Yes, you can leave the class. Dharmendra sir. Dharmendra sir. ஒரு பதிவு ஒன்று போடுறீங்க நல்லா இருந்தது அந்த பதிவு. ஆனால் வந்துட்டுன்னா அதை நான் திருப்பி செக் பண்ணுறேன். சார் மைக் ஆன் பண்ணுங்க.
இல்லை சார் இங்கே தான் இருக்கு, அதனால தான் மைக் ஆன் பண்ணுறது இல்லை. சொல்லுங்க.
சரி, ஓகே ஓகே, நாளைக்கு பேசுவோம்.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார், ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ சார். The class was very interactive, sir. Thank you, sir.
Leave the class, sir.